Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am making this video for the students of class 9th for the poem Wind. You know, the poem Wind is actually written in Tamil language but is translated by Subramanya Bharti. In this poem, the poet actually depicts the power of wind and how it is destructive. It gives us many important lessons of the life also, like we should face our problems boldly and stay firm in difficult situations. Unless we fight with our hardships, we cannot expect success. The students can understand this thing very well. The poet prepares us to meet the challenges of life. The poet has actually made the poem beautiful just by using some literary devices. That is why it is said that wind is rich in literary devices that add depth and dimensions to its themes. By weaving all these literary devices together, the poet has created a rich tapestry of meaning of the word wind, so that the readers can engage with the poem on multiple levels and draw personal interpretations from its lines. And here I will give you the breakdown of the key literary devices of the poem. So number 1 comes the metaphor. The entire poem is built on the metaphor of the wind. What does it represent? It represents life's challenges. For example, when the wind scatters papers and throws down books, it symbolizes life's ability to disrupt our plans and expectations, etc. Second comes imperative. You know the meaning of imperative? We have already done in the sentences. The poet uses direct commands. You know, imperative is where you give commands directly. The poet uses direct commands to the wind, such as, wind, come softly and don't break the shutters of the windows. Now, these imperatives actually emphasizes the human desire to control or mitigate life's unpredictability. Third, personification. The wind is given human-like qualities. As seen in the line, I just read it out for you. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. What is this? Personification, because wind is not a living thing, but the writer has created a character out of the wind, making it easier for the readers to relate to and understand its actions and impact. Fourth is repetition. The word crumbling is used multiple times. Why? To emphasize the vulnerability and decay. It serves to highlight things that are weak and to life's challenges, from physical objects to human emotions. Then comes contrast. The poem sets up a contrast between the destructive power of the wind and the potential for strength and resilience. For instance, while the wind blows out weak fires, it makes strong fires flourish. What does it mean? This is the contrast, you know. When the fire is slow, we always try to wind it out so that the flames grew. But on the other side, it makes strong fires to flourish. If the fire is quite strong and the strong wind is there, naturally it will destroy all the things which is nearby, which can catch fire. So here the emphasis, he is emphasizing the difference between vulnerability and strength, both the things. So the contrast is there. Then comes alliteration. The repeated CR sound in, I'll just read the line, frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters. Now, CR crumbling, CR crumbling, CR crumbling. So, this CR word has already repeated. And it also adds rhythm to poem and emphasize the idea of things falling apart under the wind's force. Then comes apostrophe. The poem directly addresses the wind, an inanimate force. Why? As if it were a living being capable of listening and responding. That gives an emotional depth actually to the poem. What actually the writer feels and wants to give. So he is giving his ideas through the wind, through the mouth of wind, making the wind not just a force of nature, but a chair with whom one can interact. I hope that serves the purpose and you understood the poetic devices. If you like the video, please like, comment and share, and let me know in the comment section that if you want something else on this, I will make it for you. Thank you.